Hope you're all doing good today. It is a little bit late, I know. Struggling to get everything all working together this morning. I still don't have my mic stand, and I'm holding it right now. So I'm about to go grab that, and I'm going to grab Rex. So we're going to pull up the charts, and while I'm gone, I'll just have the charts up. Let me end my other stream real quick. Alright. Now, if you were on the charts, you might have just been redirected. We'll see. I feel like sometimes it doesn't work correct. It doesn't work properly. But sometimes it does, so I don't know. It's a little bit of a mystery for me. Still trying to work all the kinks out and really just understand how it all works. But the market down today a good amount. And a lot of that is just, we hit those levels where people want to take profits. So, profit. So psychologically and algorithmically, it starts to sell off. And then we start to hit support. So you can see, we're still within this range. I wouldn't be surprised if it did go a little bit further, but you can see where support came from. So, around 684. 683 will hold up a little bit better, but scrolling a little bit further over more, you can see it's hitting the tops, it's hitting those previous supports and turning resistance into support. So we'll see where it goes from here, but I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab my dog and my mic stand. I just went to the gym too, so I'm like, this mic's already getting heavy. My God. But yeah, bond yields have been pushing higher again, which also tightens financial conditions. Higher yields, higher discount rates, lower equity valuations, especially for growth in tech. And then when rates move fast, stocks reprice fast. So, just be on the lookout for all those things. What else is going on? And Bitcoin is also tied to liquidity. So you can see we're at 75 right now. That's what's going on. When liquidity tightens and real yields rise, Bitcoin tends to sell off along with the other growth stocks. Despite the digital gold, Bitcoin still reacts to those macro conditions. So just be aware of that. It could be setting up for a great buying opportunity. I mean, we're about 50 grand away from its all-time highs, close to it at least. That's remarkable. So I'll be right back. I'm going to step out for just a few minutes, grab my dog, let him go potty, and I will be back for the rest of Power Hour. I also just realized there's an echo because this other mic was on. So I apologize for the echo in the first part of this. But here we are. We live and we learn. So again, I'll be right back, and we'll see where the market's at. Looks like it's holding on for now. Got about 32 minutes left. BRB. All right, we are back. We are back. What's up? What's up? Rex, say hi. Rex. Rex. Hello. Rex. Really? This guy, huh? Rex, what you got? Hello. Rex. Can you hear me? Why are you ignoring me? What the? Is that good, Rex? It's like a giant cigar. Got anything you want to say, dude? No? I think he's officially like 4 months old. So, he doesn't have a lot to say yet. Maybe at 6 months old, he'll start talking. No, he is generally pretty quiet guy. Pretty quiet. All right, Rex. Just let him be. Rex, leave it. Leave it. Lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Getting into a pile of dirt I swept up. Need to pick up. Great. That's what's going on in here. Oh my gosh, hold on. Look at this guy. He's like, what? I'm being a good guy. What are you chewing on, dude? A little piece of cardboard? You can't even see his face now. Someone's crazy. Out of control. Alright, enough of him. Market's not doing much, though. It's already made probably the meat of the move today. I mean, not even probably. You can see it was just kind of a slow sell-off after we broke support. Quick move once we broke support. Held on to around 693, 692.50. I believe I was calling to be that mid-level support yesterday. Pretty sure you could quote me on that, 692.50. And you can see we chopped around, consolidated there. We had a false break to the upside and rejected right there on that exact price level, 693.43. Came down here, broke through the notorious 690.15. That's officially resistance. I'm just going to delete this line. And, jeez, and zoom out. He's a little reckless. He's a little hyped up already. Rex, what you got? Rex. Hello. Rex. Hi. Yeah, he's in a mood. If you can't tell. What the? Gosh, he's growing fast. It's like he's trying to fit in frame right now. Okay. He's distracting, but it could be worse. Could be worse. Alright, market's not doing much though. Really not. Support at 684 is what we bounced off of. I would say the new support would probably be around 687. Look for it to hold above 687. Let's call it 686.50. And once we come back down and retest that range, that zone, at that point, I would watch for the move back to 684. So we'll see how that holds up, in the coming few days for the rest of the week. But watch for resistance at 690.15. There's a good chance it rejects there, but we'll see. There isn't any real good reason other than, people taking profit and those things I mentioned in the beginning, which I guess I could go back over since it was so echoey. Let's see here. All right, bond yields have been pushing higher, which tightens financial conditions. Higher yields equals higher discount rates. Lower I can't read. Lower equity valuations, especially from growth and tech. When rates move fast, stocks reprice fast. Rex, leave it. Hey, lay down. Lay down. Drop it. Good boy. Eat your stick, dude. Eat your stick. Eat your stick. Man, he's feisty today. Keeping me on my toes. So that's what I'm going to be watching for tomorrow. I mean, there's about 15 minutes left in the day. Not a whole lot. And I'm probably not going to make a trade, honestly. We'll see. I prefer that morning action, which is, it is counterproductive streaming power hour, but preferring that morning action. But that is just kind of the way the market is. Typically best in the morning. You got so much more time for plays to play out. Time to let things ride out. Once you come to that last hour, it's like time's ticking. VIX is crushing. It gets tricky. It gets real tricky. And I couldn't find my mic stand. It's probably in my house somewhere. I just didn't look that hard. But it's getting heavy. I'm not going to lie. We'll see. We will see. So yeah, watch for that on SPY for Q. Let's look at the hour chart on Q. Back to this quick overview of what's going on. Lower equity valuations, especially for growth and tech. When rates move fast, stocks reprice fast. Indexes were extended. They've been going up and up and up. Key levels broke, so systematic selling, algorithms, people, psychological levels, things like that. So it's kind of a snowball effect. Once one sells, it triggers another, and it moves down, triggers another stop loss, and it can escalate real quick. But it's definitely not a market crash. It's just, it's consolidating. This is all standard price action. If it fell like 10%, I'd be worried. 5%, maybe a little bit more worried. 1 to 3%, that could just be some standard price action. And a little bit of news can help give it the extra push. So volume at 68 million on Q. I think that's about average. But I'd watch for support around 610 to hold on Q. Let's go over here. 610 to 613. Let's just go ahead and throw this on here. I'm going to start focusing on Q a little bit more too. Let's throw it at 612 for support. Excuse me. And then we will do 618.50. Yeah, for sure. 618.50 for resistance. Watch that level. Looks to be a pretty significant level. Yep, lock and load it, baby. Alright, so going back to the 3 charts. And IWM, I could do something similar. It looks like IWM is recovered a little bit better than the other guys. This dog, I tell you. But still. Let's see. IWM down 0.14. Yeah, quite a bit better. Jeez, lose my voice. It's almost back to break even on the day. I guess we might as well draw these out for IWM too. Let's look at the hour chart. Resistance on IWM. I guess around 263. Yeah, let's call it 263. Yeah, 263.50. So that will be resistance, and we'll call support at 260.50 probably. Yeah, support will be 260.50. Green, baby. Lock it in there so I don't accidentally move it later. There you go. So there's the three, the big three, if you're wondering what I'm looking for on those. And as you can see, Bitcoin back to support level I drew quite a while ago. Big move from 90s to 70s. So we'll see where that continues. Hopefully we find some ground on there soon. Yeah, you can see that support level right there where it's been. So I think there's pretty significant support in the 70s on Bitcoin. If it broke below 70, I'd be very surprised. Very surprised. We'll zoom back into the minute chart. It looks like the market's trying to make a little bit of a move to the upside, but not enough. Not quite enough. It is working on it, though. You can see that 15-second chart right there behind my giant ass head. If I sit back, you can see a little bit better. Or if I just scoop myself over like that. I thought I was already like that. I don't know. But now you can see it a little bit better. 15-second chart. I use that just to give me an early heads up when the market's about to make a move. You can see we're making a little double top action here. Tiny cup and handle. It is building. We might come back up and test that resistance level. A whole dollar move in the last 10 minutes of the day, though, you can make significant gains. Abso-freaking-lutely. I mean, watch these 690s. If we hit 690.15, those things are going to probably hit $50. Like that. So just wait. Just wait. They could also be crushed to $10 just as fast. We'll see what happens here. And this is where that 15-second chart really comes into play for these, these moments when every second kind of counts. So you can see how the option, the order book is being affected as the price moves around a little bit. Now that is level 2 order book. I'll always happily share mine for free with you guys. I have the charts going during the day, but if not, it's only a few dollars and I highly recommend it. And I am not in this trade for sure. Definitely not. This is a very risky trade. See if it builds support here and continues. But again, you're basically buying the top in hopes that it continues. So it is a risky, high risk, high reward situation. And we are moving and grooving. I don't know why I say that. I kind of don't like that. I need to come up with something better than moving and grooving. So just like I said, just as easily it could come back to 10, and we basically hit 10 right there. $11. I don't know what Rex is doing. I just hear him chewing. What are you doing, bud? What's going on? Why are you acting so sus? I don't know. He's a suspect right now. You're looking at me like you're guilty, dude. You are. Are you guilty? What'd you do? Oh, look at that. Just as quick, though. From 11 back to 18. And if we come up and hit it 690.15, like I was just saying, you could easily hit $50 on this contract. And if you would have got in at $11, I mean, huge. Don't need to see that, sir. Do not need to see that. Hitting some decent resistance, though, at 689.30. If it can hold here, I'd say around 689 without pulling back, we have a greater chance. If we come back down here again, watching the 15-second. If we come back down here, the odds become less. So we'll see. But if we can hold here, there's a good chance we come back up and break the ceiling right here. And watch this order book. Again, this was just at 11. I mean, you could have made, a 50, 75% gain in about 30 seconds. If your broker allows you to trade same day till expire the last few minutes. I think Webull stops around 12 or 12:15. So this is something you definitely want to be, holding already, or just trade 1 day till expire. Less risky, less rewardy. But it's an option. No pun intended. Here we go. Come on. Watch that. See that 15-second chart knocking on resistance? Boom. There it goes. Watch this contract. If it moves 50 cents, this contract's going to rip pretty hard for just a quick stint. But watch it close. That order book's getting crazy. You're seeing it shrink up. And by shrink up, I mean there's less contracts at each price point. So they start to move faster. So there's a ton at 20, and then there's less at 21, less at 22, and it just starts to move. Look at that, 27 in a blink of an eye. Just like I said, watch that close. Let me move this back real quick. Even getting in at 18 or 20 late, you still could have came out with a nice move here. And let's see if we hit that magical number, 689, 690.15. I don't know if we will. We got about 4 minutes left of open market. And you do have until 15 minutes after market closes, with most brokers at least, to exit your position. Sometimes the market just keeps moving after close, and it's just like, dang, the gains keep coming. And you think you want to be done at 1, but you have to stick it out. So that was a decent gain. I mean, even if you got in at 18, you could have walked out at 26, I think. Might have been the best exit point. So, I think that's close to 50% profit. I don't know. 40 to 50, somewhere in that range. But if you would have bought the dip at 11, you would have made a couple 100%. So, it's all about your strategy. You could have also been averaging in at that point too. Just be careful with that though. You're increasing your risk and you're increasing the reward. If you want to build up a size, multiple contracts, it's less risky with something further out. 1 day, 7 days, a month. The further out, the less risk. Come on, I just want to see 690.15. At this point, it's taken so long that this contract, the odds of it hitting 50 now, even at 690.15, are less. Because volatility. It's just getting crushed. So at 690.15, if it happens like right now, we could see 30, 35 maybe. But I don't think we'd see 50 unless it continued past that point. And VIX is at 18, so it's pretty low, pretty mellow still, but it could be lower, and it could be much higher. So contracts are pretty cheap right now, and that's another thing that is a benefit of buying contracts that are far out while VIX is low. If you buy something a year out while VIX is low, when volatility rises, those contracts will increase in price just from the volatility alone. So just something to think about, look into. There's lots of different ways to play it, but the market is pushing. I want to see 690.15. I do. I don't know if we'll get it, but we might. We just might. Bitcoin seen better days. Tapping on my support. I drew the support line months ago. TA is king, you guys. It's never a coincidence. Always comes back to those levels. And they get easier and easier to spot the more you do it. Come on, 690.15. You can do it. Hit that freaking number. Right, Rex? He gives up. He's out on me. There we go. There we go. New high. New high for the moment. And will we hit it? Will we hit it? We're getting close. Again, like I said, even if we hit it now, this contract's not going to hit 50. But it did hit some decent gains. So pulling back now, 30 seconds left. We might not get it, but we were very close. I mean, 690.15 to 689.75. Well, 30 seconds left. It's pushing. It is pushing. But I definitely want to be holding and hoping at this point. Hopefully, if you were in the green, you already locked that in. Stop loss, take profits, whatever it is. Because this baby is likely going to go to zero very quick. Unless that market decides to close above 690. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Just like I said, almost right on cue, honestly. It's getting crushed into close. Crushed into close. $10 move in like a blink. So be careful out there. It doesn't have to be that risky, though. You know, pick those times we want to be aggressive. Always have a plan. And look at that. After hours. Still bouncing around. Again, you have until 15 minutes after close to exit a position. But hopefully you have a plan before that happens, because it can get stressful. But I'm not going to lie and say I haven't been there, because I definitely had. And I've had some good trades after hours too, in and out. So, you know, just get used to those setups that work for you and exercise them. So that's all I have for the day. I'm going to wrap things up. Here's another look at Rex. The Rex cam while we close it out. Rex, can you say bye? Okay. That's all he had to say. But I hope you guys have a great night. Hope you stay happy and healthy, and I will see you tomorrow.